depend on electricity. He said the constant blackout has delayed customers' clothes and reduced his income, making it difficult for him to meet his daily needs. He also spoke about a recent fire incident in the community which destroyed a house. He believes the fire may have been caused by an electrical problem and called on authorities to address the situation. A printing press owner, Abib Bangura, also told SLBC that the unstable electricity supply is slowing down business and affecting production. He said printing machines required steady electricity to operate effectively, but the frequent outages have caused delays in completing customers' work and increased operational costs. Ababa Umar Ba also described the electricity problem as a major challenge for businesses. He said the lack of stable lights affects their work, especially at night, and forces many business people to spend extra money on generators and fuel.
Without light, I cannot work. The place becomes very hot when there is no electricity, and I cannot serve my customer because my barbing machines need power to function. Government really needs to put measures in place regarding electricity supply. Those of us who are independent workers will not engage in dubious activities when there is work to do.
The government really get to put things in place concerning light.
A provision shop owner, Edna Sandy, also said the frequent power cuts are affecting her business, especially in preserving goods that require steady electricity. She explained that the situation is leading to losses and reduced sales, as some items get spoiled or cannot be properly stored during long hours of blackout.
Like me, I am currently using a generator, even though I buy EDSA credits. I cannot use electricity because there is no light. It is the generator that is keeping my refrigerator on. EDSA is really discouraging us. I don't know what the government is doing to ensure a sustainable power supply so that we can use our appliances. As it is now, most of our appliances have been burnt because of poor power supply.
Small profit at the fair for generator. So if I buy my house property, then due to EDSA, the lights, poor light facility, the poor appliances, then it really discouraging.
Other residents said the frequent blackouts is making life difficult, especially for small business owners already struggling with the high cost of living. Residents called on government and authorities concerned to improve electricity supply in the area to help businesses and families cope better. SLBC News are in Freetown. Christiana reporting.
In the Tangba town community, residents explained to the SLBC the challenges they face as a result of the persistent blackout.
A public announcement say or notice say they will get this 1 week of shutdown this way. And like as you can see, another light and clients come for but there's no way. And even the crisis will happen, the area to be. Yesterday, unfortunately, when the lights come, it trip. And for the speaker, the coil blow off, the television blow off, the fan.
We don't go through constraints, especially for the lights. Now look, we carry cold drinks away, at least they will manage which we picking them, we able manage as a single family, But now we they get blackout, so as frequent, we fish them the poil, we think we they put in a fridge, even 1-2 days plus also go out for us, we know they able save. So they are with the best of our governments making deal with light.
From them days, from last week, so no more the lights. We get people and we deal with when a customer them, we get problem with them. Some customer don't give me work from last week, till they some work and they won't able to deliver it because of the lights. And when the light they come, they take. In a few seconds. Like me so as I talk to me for no charge. They upset for the family for the charge. When I can say if not take will I don't come. Since I need to back say the phone they don't go back. We they get constrained over that side they been made. for generator we can get like this generator with synapse, so we can use them, but we fuel back.
Hug me. I dey sell juice, I dey sell rubber drink, they have afternoon and I dey sell. Then I do the baguettes for lunch. Then I dey provide I dey cook plazas for the week. But the lifestyle I dey come down at this area as your life side again. And most kids of the they get light. Because people can come by, cool.
Well, to we inside, the lights they come, but not just stable. They come on and off. You go come, you glad it. By the time you want to put switch on, you don't go back. Then you go come back, you go there something for hours. It's just not stable no more. You know where we predict them. But then today they come all day. Now next way you want to go sleep, you go. Midnight, they come. And so no more the light there.
While those were views of residents in Tengbe Town community, still on the blackout in Freetown, residents and business owners in parts of the Brookfields community expressed frustration over the ongoing electricity situation in their area. This came after EDSA made an announcement about a week ago to shut down Bumbuna hydroelectric power plant for maintenance. Esther Nene Kamara takes up the story.
The shutdown will last for 12 days. EDSA said this, as usual, will affect normal power supply in Freetown, Makeni, and Maboroka. Like other communities in the capital, residents of Ferguson Street, Sankey Street, Philip Nichols Street, and Data Street in Brookfields community said the current frequent power outage affects them seriously.
The light business at this area is not difficult enough for me.
Really? It is not easy for us, especially for us preparing food for storage. This causes our food products to get spoiled. The electricity system in this country is poor.
The light system not good. The light system is so poor in this country.
Get people the way they see. There are people who depend on selling cold water and ginger beer for survival. So this will really affect them, especially the single mothers who depend on their freezers to feed their kids. Shutting down from the 18th to the 26th will be tough for them. If EDSA had an option, it will be better.
If any other option, the way EDSA will able to do, at least let people that they able to get light, the way that they able to sustain from that during the time they know they don't think so, it will be fine for them.
For some business owners, the inconsistent supply of electricity is affecting livelihoods as they depend on refrigeration and other electrical equipment to preserve their goods.
I was selling cold water and ginger beer, but I am no longer selling them because of the power outage. I am calling on government to help us because without electricity, our businesses will die slowly.
For now, we get the lights frequently.
We are not having electricity as it used to be. At the moment, it is frustrating. I am a refrigerator technician. I repair freezers and air conditioner, and we need electricity. If we are having challenges like this, it will affect us and slowing down our businesses.
They slow me down because at times we need fast work, follow get work done easy.
They claim other communities are having 24-hour electricity supply. Therefore, a call for alternative means of power supply amid the maintenance on Bumbuna hydroelectric power plant, they say would help greatly. For SLBC, Esther Nene Kamara reporting.
As uncertainty deepens over the planned 12-day shutdown of the Bumbuna hydroelectric power plant and the 161 kV transmission line, anxiety is growing among traders and small business owners across the city. For many whose livelihoods depend entirely on refrigeration and steady electricity supply, the looming blackout threatens not only their businesses, but also the survival of the families who depend on them. Beverage sellers, ice cream vendors, and cold room operators say they are preparing for heavy financial losses as the May 18th to May 29th shutdown commences. Elizabeth Molensese reports.
In the busy streets and trading corners of the city, the constant hum of refrigerators and freezers has become more than background noise. It is the sound of survival. From soft drink vendors to ice cream sellers, hundreds of small businesses rely heavily on uninterrupted electricity to keep produce fresh and customers coming. But with the Electricity Distribution and Supply Authority announcing a 12-day shutdown of the Bumbuna hydroelectric power plant and the 160 kV transmission line, fear and uncertainty is now replacing the usual rhythm of trade. Inside small beverage shops, traders stand beside refrigerators packed with drinks, anxiously discussing what the prolonged outage could mean for their businesses. Many say they're already struggling with difficult economic conditions, and planned shutdown may push them even further into hardship. For Mohamed Kamara, an ice cream seller in the central part of the city, electricity is the backbone of his business. Without refrigeration, he says, his produce will spoil within hours, affecting not just him, but also many people who depend on his shop for income.
I have over 200 customers who buy from me to sell. This is where they survive with their families. So if there will be a shutdown, then business won't go on.
At another trading spot, rows of chilled soft drink-filled refrigerators as customers move in and out under the afternoon heat. But behind the daily transaction lies growing concern. Aisha Kabo says customers rarely buy drinks that are not properly cold, making electricity essential for her survival.
For the past few days, the electricity has not been stable, so I'm just wondering how it will be during the shutdown, and this is where I survive with my family.
For cold room operator, the concern is even greater. Large quantities of frozen products depend on the constant refrigeration, and many operators say they have no alternative power source. Pa Almami Sila, who operates a cold room business, expressed frustration over the situation, saying while maintenance work may be necessary, the impact on traders could be devastating.
This will really affect our source of livelihood. The maintenance is not the problem, but we are pleading for the time to be reduced.
As the shutdown period commences, affected traders are now appealing to authorities to reconsider the duration of outage or introduce a more reliable load management system that would allow businesses to operate for at least a few hours daily. Many believe short measures could reduce financial losses and protect small businesses that rely entirely on electricity to survive. For now, however, uncertainty continues to hang heavily over traders whose livelihoods may soon go dark alongside the power supply. For SLBC News, Elizabeth Molensese reporting.
Earlier, the Electricity Distribution and Supply Authority informed about a 12-day shutdown of the Bumbuna hydroelectric power plant for annual maintenance. The notice noted the move was to strengthening the reliability of the national grid with a load management schedule. Amidst the growing concern of power outage across the country, how will ETSA and EGTC navigate the distribution of electricity across the country? Moses Conte reports.
The Electricity and Supply Authority says Freetown needs about 80 megawatts. At the moment, Bumbuna only produces 2 megawatts because of the low level of River Rokel. Minister of Energy Cyril Arnold Grant says maintenance of the Bumbuna Hydro Dam has been a normal routine for the past 8 years, especially between April and May.
It's particularly terrible because the main generator that we have, Bumbuna, which is a hydro dam, at this time of year, every year, goes down, and in fact, it doesn't produce more than 2 megawatts that comes to Freetown. On a typical day in Freetown, we need about 80 megawatts to keep everybody happy. At the peak in the evening, when everybody is home, the air conditioners and everybody is home, we need about 80 megawatts. So you can imagine that Bumbuna, as it is right now, because of the level of water, only produces 2 megawatts, and it is backed up by, in the daytime, we have some solar feeds. We have about 15 megawatts from Makot. We have now, fortunately for us, a new project, Newton, which is still under construction, but that produces anywhere from about 10 to about 22 megawatts. And then, of course, we also have car power, which we've contracted for them to produce about 45. So it's a problem every year. And especially now.
He added several projects are on the way to solve electricity challenges.
So in the future, I envision a system where we won't have to have this discussion about power. Power will be available. And we are working, as I told you, we are working with sources of power that are going to be solar. What I'm saying is that 2026 is going to be the last year that is a reality for Sierra Leoneans. Yes, it's going to be 2027, but right around the corner, the Newton plant is already generating. It's not completed, but I was there about 2 weeks ago, and it was already pulling out in excess of 20 megawatts of power during the day, because it's a solar plant.
Mr. Grant also assures the public for an alternative solution of availability of electricity during the maintenance period.
So we've told them, no, you cannot extend this for 11 days. We can give you the maximum of 5 days. Let all the staff work overtime shifts, make sure they work around the clock to make sure that we can do all the maintenance we needed done over the next 5 days in preparation for the new rain season. At the same time, we've spoken to Car Power and they've agreed. They're going to increase their production from 45 to 65 megawatts. That now will give us enough power, and they will power those 4 transformers that I spoke about, which will now transmit power to all areas, about at least 80% of the network will power.
So, the minister appeals to the public to exercise patience.
In a move to strengthen economic cooperation and attract foreign investment, Sierra Leone's ambassador to Turkey, Dr. Frances Virginia Anderson, has led a delegation of Turkish investors to Parliament. She commended the retired Honorable Speaker for his supportive stance and for ensuring that the proposed Turkish investments receive the necessary attention to yield tangible benefits for Sierra Leone. She noted that Sierra Leone was the first point of contact for these investors and urged the country to make full use of the opportunity to deepen economic ties. The leader of government business, Honorable Matthew Numa, welcomed the delegation and commended the ambassador's efforts in facilitating the visit. He assured the investors that Parliament stands ready to provide the appropriate legislative framework to guide and safeguard the investment process. The Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Alpha Sisse, said he would ensure to provide a legal framework to ensure that the proposed investment thrives within the laws of Sierra Leone. The Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Speaker Singapore Solomon Thomas, acknowledged the support of the entire parliamentary leadership in advancing a progressive and investor-friendly legislative agenda. He assured the delegation that Sierra Leone is a peaceful and stable country, making it an attractive destination for investment. As the world marks World Meteorology Day 2026, the United Nations Industrial Development Organization is urging countries to invest more in national measurement systems to support trusted policy making, industrial growth, and sustainable development. This year's theme, Meteorology, Building Trust in Policy Making, highlights the importance of accurate and reliable measurements in helping governments make informed decisions, protect consumers, support trade, monitor climate action, and achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. UNIDO says government meteorology systems are essential for quality infrastructure, fair trade, food safety, energy efficiency, and industrial competitiveness. However, many developing countries still face challenges such as weak laboratory infrastructure, limited calibration services, and outdated legal frameworks. To address these gaps, UNIDO is supporting countries through quality policy programs in Africa, the Caribbean, the Pacific, and Latin America. The organization is also helping nations modernize meteorology laws, develop national strategies, and strengthen technical skills through partnerships with international measurement bodies. They emphasized that meteorology should be viewed not just as a technical issue, but also a key public policy tool for building stronger economies, safer markets, and greater public trust. And now to health, the government, through the National Public Health Agency, has informed the media that the agency has put in place preparedness measures ahead of any pandemics or outbreak, while admonishing Sierra Leoneans to be vigilant and calm. The update emanated from the current Ebola outbreak in DRC and Uganda. Early detection and early reporting are the most powerful tools. Cynthia Kamara has more.
Prior to the recent declaration of public health emergency by the World Health Organization in response to the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda, the National Public Health Agency, in an engagement with the media, urged Sierra Leoneans to be prepared, vigilant, and calm. Although the country is yet to record any case of Ebola, having fresh memories of its devastating effects on citizens in 2014 to 2026. With the outbreak of Ebola in DRC, which has recorded 246 suspected cases and 80 deaths in Ituri province, as well as 1 death in Kampala, Uganda, the agency advised the general public to observe all preventive measures implemented during the Ebola outbreak in 2014, including the washing of hands and avoid body contact, as well as frequent traveling. During the briefing, health workers were advised to report any suspected cases to the district health management and observe all public health preventive measures. The preparation of Sierra Leone is set to be grounded from lessons learned in 2014, hence will act before the risk escalate.
Heightened readiness. The National Emergency Health Committee has been convened to oversee the government's response. 2. Enhanced screening at all points of entry. The Lungi International Airport, the Queen Elizabeth Key, and all major land crossing points. That is in Cambia, Balamoya, Kailahun. These are fully operational with trained personnel. 3. We want to pre-position emergency supplies. Personal protective equipment, isolation materials, and rapid diagnostics.
Updating the media on the prevalence of measles in the country, Dr. James Squire, Director of Surveillance and Applied Epidemiologist, advised parents to take their children to nearby health centers for vaccines which are readily available in the country.
With the antivirus that is actually transmitted through rodents, and when you come in contact with that, human-to-human transmission is actually limited, and it normally occurs due to close contact with an infected person. That is when you actually get that one. And the disease is actually not endemic in Africa, but more East Asia and the Southern American region. That is where
the current outbreak is caused by the Bundi-Bunyo strain of the Ebola virus, for which there is currently no licensed vaccine or approved therapeutics. 117 is currently active, hence citizens should report any emergency cases. For SABC News, Cynthia Kama reporting.
The Freetown City Council has officially launched its air quality monitoring initiative. It's aimed at tackling pollution and improving public health across the capital. The project, which forms part of the Unlocking Air Quality Improvement seeks to establish a citywide monitoring network and strengthen climate resilience efforts in Freetown. Our reporter Alwyn Roy Fox has the details.
The session focused on the deployment of air quality monitoring sensors across 12 planning areas in the city to generate real-time environmental data. It also supports evidence-based planning and decision-making. The mayor of Freetown, Yvonne Akisoya, said the Freetown City Council was committed to climate action and environmental sustainability. She noted that the council has already planted over 1.2 million trees as part of efforts to strengthen climate resilience and improve environmental conditions within the municipality.
From our perspective, climate action isn't just about addressing or adapting to the change. It's about shaping the future of our city. We have a number of initiatives which are already going on in this space. We are planting trees. We are working on waste to energy. And air pollution is a major crisis. And very often people don't see the link between air pollution and climate change. But there is a direct link. There's a direct link because it's the pollution in the air, particularly in the CO2 affecting the ozone layer, that actually has led to the level of climate change that we're experiencing today.
During the event, they identified major contributors to air pollution in the city. They are but not limited to fossil fuel dependence, old vehicles, oil waste burning, and limited access to clean energy alternatives. According to the climate change officer, Freetown City Council, Yatta Kalon, air pollution remains a serious concern in Freetown due to rapid urbanization, increasing population density, poor waste management systems, and inadequate infrastructure.
Because of the high level of pollutants, most especially the particulate matter 2.5 concentration, that is being linked with respiratory illnesses and cardiovascular diseases and different types of cancer. So, Freetown City Council has some plans. We have Climate Action Plan. That Climate Action Plan is actually a guide that has been guiding our interventions when it comes to climate mitigation and adaptation strategies.
A key point session was a live demonstration of the air quality sensors, giving stakeholders practical insight into how devices will collect and transmit air pollution data across the city. Stakeholders from government institutions, civil society organizations, academia, and development partners were encouraged to collaborate in ensuring the long-term sustainability of the air quality monitoring system. The initiative, funded by C40 cities, is expected to play a critical role in safeguarding public health and building a cleaner, healthier, and more resilient Freetown. SLBC News, Alwyn Roy Fox reporting.
Now, transforming waste into earning income has become a motivation in cleaning Kube community. The caption, "From waste to wealth, plastic and sachets turned into cash in Kube," was just designed to achieving that. Well, our intern reporter Zainab Madi visited the area and put this report together.
This is Kube community in the center of the capital, Freetown. It is a slum area known for suffering from flash floods whenever it rains heavily. Residents here usually blame those living in upper communities of depositing wastes into gutters that end up here.
The village guy, because that gutter, if you don't then say you don't block. Because
we are trying our best to clean the community, but the plastic waste is too much. The youth in Kube community are working hard. We appreciate what the mayor and the FCC did in supporting us through. We want this to continue.
So what the man can come for back with the assistant, because a very good thing. Government's done very hard. I'm glad for that.
As part of its efforts to see a clean municipality,
The Freetown City Council introduces the Sierra Forever Green initiative. It is also part of the Dirty Must Go campaign. Under it, young people in the community are provided with these huge bags to collect wastes like water sachets. The initiative also seeks to turn waste into income and cleaner gutters.
We're glad because one, the community be too dirty.
We are glad they cleared the dust out. The mayor gave the youth gloves, masks, and protective gear to clean. When they brought the bags, they are paid 70 leon for each.
And two, a fair for week bag. And each bag gets 7 people for each one bag.
According to the Freetown City Council, non-plastic waste from the gutter is being cleared by FCC excavators and sent to Kingdom dump site.
The mayor brought bags and machine. We appreciate what they did.
Full plastics recycling operations at Kingdom are set to begin by the end of June, creating a longer-term pathway from waste to wealth. Mayor Kisoya says the program is designed to combine environmental cleanup with economic opportunity for youth.
The University of Sierra Leone has formally responded to concerns raised in a recent Anti-Corruption Commission report. The administration said several findings contained factual inaccuracies and overlooked broader institutional governance challenges. Christina Kamara has more.
At a press conference held at the University House Committee Room, FBC Montreal in Freetown, the university's Director of Communications and International Relations, Dr. Tonia Musa, said management had issued a detailed position paper clarifying its stance on the matters highlighted in the SEC report released on the 8th of May this year. According to the university, the former registrar, Olive Barry, and the former finance director, Waltina Mackey, were placed on leave in January 2024 following the expiration of their contracts and not a disciplinary measures linked to corruption allegations.
Part of the investigation committee report was that was not done, and there were implications. But the SEC report says there is no cause to alarm. But for us, there is a cause to alarm, given that the Vice Chancellor and Principal, upon assuming office 4 months later, audit service wrote that they should be told it's alarming.
Management also disputed the SEC's decision to exonerate certain officials, arguing that such determinations should ultimately rest with the court. The university further said that findings from its internal investigation and policy subcommittee report revealed several institutional and procurement irregularities, including weaknesses in procurement oversight, inadequate record management systems, delays in financial reporting, and concerns relating to a $126,000 United States dollars vehicle procurement process. USL management said while it welcomes aspects of the SEC's recommendations aimed at strengthening reforms, it disagrees with sections of the report it considers incomplete and unbalanced. The university management also expressed concern over what they described as limited engagement between the SEC and university authorities during the investigation process, despite the submission of requested documentation. Meanwhile, management says corrective measures are already being implemented to strengthen transparency, accountability, procurement compliance, and financial management within the institution. The University of Sierra Leone reaffirmed its commitment to institutional reform and good governance, noting that copies of its position paper and supporting reports will be made publicly accessible. SLBC Newshour in Freetown, Christian Akamara reporting.
The Ahmadiyya Mission is set to launch a brand new TV station called Muslim Television Ahmadiyya International this May 2026. The move to establish a modern broadcasting studio was to further its mission of promoting peace, tolerance, and compassion. Abdul Mansai witnessed the press briefing at Ahmadiyya Masjid in Brookfields and files in this report.
International Muslim officials from the Ahmadiyya Mission and local members witnessed the pre-launching of the Muslim television Ahmadiyya International, MTA International, and the impact of the facility to the Muslim faith and the country. The head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat at Sierra Leone, Musa Mewa, said that the MTA International began its operations in Sierra Leone in 2023 with a small studio. Its aim was to produce programs for the MTA Africa channel. He noted that the facility would enhance the quality and reach of MTA's broadcast, allowing for more comprehensive coverage of humanitarian initiatives and community service projects that exemplify Islam's practical applications.
The MTA International Sierra Leone Studios for the construction of a modern studio well equipped for the highly technical and professional production of programs for broadcast across the world from Sierra Leone.
The managing director of MTA International, Munir Shams, emphasized the network's commitment to building global peace through responsible media. He said it was important to interfaith dialogue and moral reform.
MTA International plays a vital role in presenting the true teachings of Islam to a global audience through responsible, educational broadcasting, focusing on the promotion of peace. At a time when misinformation, extremism, and conflict often dominate global narratives about religion.
MTA International is said to continue to serve as a vital connection for Ahmadiyya Muslims worldwide, uniting them with their Khalifa and reinforcing their spiritual bond while promoting charity and education. SLBC News, Abdul Mansari reporting.
The contest is intensifying for paramount chieftaincy on the Buea section of the de-amalgamated Buea-Rumende chiefdom. A total of 11 candidates are expected to enter the race. Howard Williams was at Kamasondo in Buea chiefdom, Kaine district, to compile the following story.
As the contest is intensifying for paramount chieftaincy in the Buea segment of the de-amalgamated Buea-Rumende chiefdom, 11 candidates have entered the race. When elected in the coming months, the new paramount chief will be the steward of a chiefdom, aspiring towards education for all 64 villages in Buea chiefdom. The 11 contestants aspiring for the paramount chieftaincy portray themselves to be working in mutual solidarity in the hope that one amongst them will emerge as winner. Each of them was present for the occasion of declaration for the 11th and most recent candidate. Based on the popular turnout and the opinions of several chiefdom residents interviewed, Suleiman Mohamed Isse of the Baibanta Ngoa ruling house is the emerging front-runner. His declaration ceremony, which drew residents from their homes and cut across political and occupational boundaries, was the largest thus far. Mr. Sise said that teachers of Buea chiefdom could give testimony of his premium on the education sector and his belief that with the crown he could do more. He said his loyalty has always been with the people and its leadership, particularly by Banta Kennedy, to whom he conceded in 1989 and supported throughout his rule until the late paramount chief's recent demise.
Well, away from there, let's move over to our sports desk for some latest updates.
Hello and welcome to the sporting updates that keeps you in the know. And by the way, my name is Sam Kabia. Thank you so much for your time. Now, Arsenal are the champions of the 2025-2026 English Premier League. Well, Arsenal's 22 years wait is officially over What a performance, what a milestone. You know, the names are too many to name a few, but indeed a milestone that is truly good to reckon with in terms of achievement. And Arsenal's boss, Mikel Arteta, has been a wonderful manager by helping the Gunners to reach this significant milestone in the English Premier League. You know, the last time they won the English Premier League was in 2004, so 22 years on, and Arsenal are the champions again. You know, the time they had the Invisibles, the days of Terry Henry, and most of other players. It's these young couple of players are up for it with this wonderful and brilliant performance. You know, the streets of Freetown by tomorrow will be red and white, you know, and so we're all about to celebrate this wonderful achievement. For Arsenal, this is truly a league come to. They've been a wonderful team, you know, they've played well with a good number of young players who are going to achieve more in terms of football. You know, Manchester City, they failed to secure a win against Bournemouth in an exciting match. You know, that will have ended it on Sunday, but unfortunately for City, they're out of the race and Arsenal are the champions. So they will be officially crowned as champions in the match against Crystal Palace. You know, the match against Palace will be a very big one for Arsenal, and that will be the official crowning of the Gunners. You know, it's been a long time for the Gunners. Finally, they're champions. Congratulations to fans of Arsenal for a job well done, a satisfactory performance convincing one. You know, it's been a very important moment for the entire team. And away from the Gunners, let's shift our attention to the national team Leon Stars. They've been drawn in Group E in what seemed to be a very intriguing group in terms of the 2027 Pamoja African Cup of Nations. Well, here is the update.
Sierra Leone has been placed in Group E for the 2027 African Cup of Nations qualifiers alongside Equatorial Guinea, Democratic Republic of Congo and Zimbabwe. Meanwhile, the campaign is scheduled for September this year, with Sierra Leone preparing for what promises to be a rigid campaign towards the 2027 Pamoja African Cup of Nations. The draw is coming at a time when the Sierra Leone Football Association is preparing to announce the new head coach of the Sierra Leone national senior men's team, Leon Stars, after the closure for the coaching job was made public. The Leon Stars will face all three nations as they begin their quest for the qualification to the 2027 AFCON tourney in East Africa. Sierra Leone has been placed in Group E for the 2027 African Cup of Nations qualifiers alongside Equatorial Guinea, Democratic Republic of Congo and Zimbabwe. Meanwhile, the campaign is scheduled for September this year, with Sierra Leone preparing for what promises to be a rigid campaign towards the 2027 Pamoja African Cup of Nations. The draw is coming at a time when the Sierra Leone Football Association is preparing to announce the new head coach of the Sierra Leone national senior men's team, Leon Stars, after the closure for the coaching job was made public. The Leon Stars will face all three nations as they begin their quest for the qualification to the 2027 AFCON tourney in East Africa.
Well, that ends your updates. And by the way, my name is Sam. And thank you so much for watching. And by the way, again, congratulations to fans of the Gunners for a wonderful season. It's been so tough and challenging. You know, the back and forth of the title race was indeed a very difficult one. And that ends your update.
Well, many thanks to our sports desk. Now to end the news, the main points again. The Political Party Regulation Commission, PPRC, has delivered a ruling in the matter of petition on the directives of the Internal Elections Complaints Board of the All People's Congress Party. It's directed the leadership of the party to conduct rerun of lower-level elections, among other things. The University of Sierra Leone has formally responded to concerns raised in a recent Anti-Corruption Commission report. The administration said several findings contained factual inaccuracies and overlooked broader institutional governance challenges. And finally, ahead of the 2026 Open Government Week celebrations, the National Council for Civic Education and Democracy, NACED, has engaged the media on its planned activities and the importance of strengthening citizen participation in governance. Well, that's how we wrap up this edition of Newshour from the SLBC. I have been your anchor, Esther Susanette Bassi. Thanks for watching. Continue to stay glued.